Eternal Father. You children of the earth, promise before knowing a human life to fulfill in your simplicity feeling the highest morality that can be conceived, and to attend to your request, the Divine Father placed the Ten Commandments in human life. They represent and remind you on earth of the morality promised in the kingdom of heaven. You might be deceived by the fleeting and comfort that money provides, thinking you had never studied my scriptures that could happen by failing to comply with the commandments in your daily life cannot be overlooked. Only the arrogant will come to know the power of God, which is first expressed through the living doctrines and then in nature. Every new law must be first thought and then executed. To do the positive will bring chaos to the world, as everyone will be deluded and many will take their own lives believing that the end of the world has come. No, children, there is not a such thing. What this says is the final judgment on a way life that is not in kingdom of heaven, that is not in my commandments, and I will be approved the human evolution. The commandments were given for everyone. They are the only ones that can unify the world. My divine commandments do not divide the world. Only the divine commandments could and still save the world from the weeping incarnation society that is approaching. First commandment: you should love your God and Creator above all the things, and your neighbors as yourself. Second commandment: you should not worship on any image, temple, or likenesses of any kind. Third commandment: you should not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not behold him in guiltiness who takes his name in vain. Fourth commandment: remember the Sabbath day and keep them holy. 6 days you should labor and do all your work, but the 7 days is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Fifth commandment: honor your father and your mother, so that your days might be prolonged in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. Sixth commandment: you shall not kill. Seventh commandment: you shall not fornicate, you shall not commit adultery. Eighth commandment: you shall not steal. Ninth commandment: you shall not bear false witnesses against your neighbor, no lies. 10th commandment: you should not covet your neighbor's gods. Based on the Holy Scriptures, Exodus chapter 20, Deuteronomy chapter 5. The demanding days of the Creator bear the self of equality to degree unknown to you. This equality is represented in the Ten Commandments. Where did you get the word private? Nothing is private in the nature. The divine root gives and takes away, meaning that every divine commandments have been observing the actions of every human, him bring through the centuries. They are living words of God, who is everywhere in the highest morality that the human mind can imagine. Such morality is represented in my commandments. There is no other knowledge in this world that surpasses them. My divine commandment teach equality. Inequality that is respected will have made the earth paradise. The Creator is infinite and it represents in all the things. Yet His commandments are the supreme because they emerge from His free will. The divine morality of my divine commandments was created so that universal communist government could arise on earth, one single government and one single God. Is there any other doctrine more humble than the which they share material things in common? The hour has come when all the power that is not on the eternal Father will fall by his first own law. With the measurement they used, they will measure. The measure is the commandment, and by the commandments they will fall. Right, Alpha and Omega. Lord, you blew the winds, and the sea is your child. Who is like you, O Lord? From the eternal to the eternity, you are the voice of God. Holy greetings. Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I sanctified you. I made you a prophet to the nations, journeys and experiences of the Spirit. Apocalypse 4:11. Lord, you are the worthy to receive glory and honor to the power, for you create all things, and by you will be diseased, and we will create. What will come? Divine title 312. In the trials of life, many propose limits to birth. Such will not enter the kingdom of heavens. Again, because no one asked God to restrict the free will of the spirits, who asked God to know the human life, those who enacted strong laws that violate the free wills of others had divine judgment on the part of the same way that they try to kill, because every spirit whose life was left to cut off will ask the Son of God to be present in the divine final judgment. The crying and godly shall see begins by the saint who once tried to stop the expansion of light. Divine telepathic scroll. Divine title. How Spirit joins a baby. The maternal cord, troubles, and experiences of the spirits when they decide to go and try material lives. Yes, son, I will tell you a divine topic that it will move to the mothers of the world. The journey everyone was taken, the first departure from the kingdom of heaven, the heavenly longing of every spirit, the dreams and greatness of the beginner. When spirits travel to the distant world, it makes its principle of becoming a creature of flesh or one of the spirit. Space and time, the philosophy of the spirit since I lives the kingdom in that of child. He carries in his solar germ all the divine scenes that he saw in the divine live in the kingdom. The living inheritances accompany him during the journey. Most beautiful and keen solar mothers watch him live. The solar mothers do not have the specific children because they are all universal mothers. They are all his children, and their numbers has no limit. For your children of the earth, your universal mother, she is the Omega solar mother. The saying that she allows to herself to be called in many names in your world, many names and one mother, just one God. Mother and Father in the kingdom of heaven are one person, and at the same time infinity people. They are the lots of the solar trinity, whose source of light is everywhere. Witness every birth that occurs in all worlds of the universe. Nothing escapes the divine control of the solar trinity. When a spirit is born in the sun, it has infinity mothers who desire it. The number of it is like the numbers of grains of the sand in the desert contains. Solar mother have their own universes and their own laws. Within the same expensive thinking universe, You were all cared for one maternal Trinity planet. They took care of you as only loving mother can. There in Trino, there is a sea of milk such as the world has never seen. The Solar Mother are in the same antiquity of the crew members of the flying saucers that visit you, and they are not the only ones because the only Father is unique. Antiquities in terms of existence has no limits, and the eternal such access in kingdom is immortal. To know who is the eldest one, Father after the Father, only the Father knows. Creation helps himself emerge. Those who are microscopic now will be great in the eternal tomorrow, and they will go and to occupy positions on the greatest responsibilities in creation. The women of today will be solar mothers in the future, because what's above is equal to what's below. The obligations below are repeated above, and those above are repeated below. The birth of the spirit is like the birth of the baby, because spirit and mother begin together, and it's the first alliance that is being made. First body of the newborn spirit is like a milky solar gas, and in this body of gas there is a solar innocence from those whose lot have come to the silver symbols using many words. Here is the origin of the little silver lamp that humanity will use. Symbol of mental purity, clean in spirit, healthy mind. The honest will be worried and all repentant because human faith takes infinite forms and determinations. And it's easy earlier fall in Mark is an exploited materialist in the religion of the Satan admirers because in the kingdom all the spirits have the free will. They can go wherever they like. And their free will leads them to visit great wisdom, and it thus that an exploding spirit would attract it to the followers of the evil one, and their spirit was excited. They fell into weakness within their own evolution. Therefore, the cause of the suffering of the world is due to the human weakness, a weakness that it has its quality and quality, cunning and ambition. These devils were the ones who took the liberty of creating money, and with this they divide the entire human race into rich and poor. Only Satan divides himself. The proof of light that you ask for it should have not been as unfair and unpainful as is. And it's because of the devils of capitalism that you bear the yoke of justice. Because of these devils, none of you will enter in the kingdom, because they also excite you. The quality and quality of your thinking was inferior to the quality and quality of the morality of the commandments. You were entertained in a false philosophy moment by moment, second by second, and the violations of the second is enough. And one does not enter the kingdom of heaven. These devils of exploitation condemn themselves and the world, because of them is the crying and garnishing of tears of humanity that was waited by the legion of the blind people that was made this humanity so many others blind guys of the blind, who inherit moral weakness and ignorance. You all left the kingdom very happy, even those who had to pay large debts, and you should return with the same joy, which is the permanent virtue of the kingdom of heaven. If this did not happen, thank you, blindest guys of the blind, creators of the sciences of good. O well-being that distance one from the morality of the Father. But truly I tell you that it's you blind people, those who allow yourself to be guided by those devils, are punished. They will be punished in 1,000 times more. It means 1,000 times. is more like every pore of their body flesh. Each pore of the flesh represents a justice in which each one of them represents 1,000 existences in the darkness. If this humanity sinned a third of his cause of the due to the devil's exploitation, which is not the same as sinning for one's own cause. Even the most microscopic influence of each of sins is judged the great ones of the world by not giving in their earlier position sin so much injustice will not enter in kingdom of heaven, but those who fought and fight to defend the rights of the humble are saved. Because every measure is measured in the kingdom with the root that it was measured. When defending justice, the justice of the Father is everything in that is taught, because it is everywhere in all the solar cores that unites to the sons have their instantaneous love of justice. Thus, when an earthquake, tremor, or tsunami occurs, the molecules of the living elements cry and complain, just as your spiritus groans, because what is above is equal to what's below. What happens in a given moment in your present is the happening at the same moment in the microscopic present and infinity dimension. That one of the spirits has repercussions on matter, and matter affects in the spirit. When an earthquake occurs, it's because the earth comes out of the matter, and the spirit is filled with the breath. Because infinity solar course that comes out of his spirit, and his flesh vibrates at the end, no end at the one, while the others link it to the molecules or to the elements of the earth. Here's the cause of everything upon everything in the sensitivities between matter and spirit. That is why when my firstborn son expires on the cross, the entire earth trembled and the sun darkened. The vibration of the solar firstborn is a divine superiority in the rest of the inheritance of the living elements. Everyone murdered in this Creator, the one who lovingly ordered them, the one who commanded the winds to come down, because there was a telepathy and a permanent communication between the spirit and the matter. In the Father's creation, there is unknown and unknown laws. What until recently was unknown is unknown now. It's always happened the same. Every lot comes to knowledge when it should come, because they also tasted in their loves, because there is no love without lot. Every love is a living order that is written in the kingdom. As the breeze that it curses you is written. The maternal core is a core that has within in it trillions and trillions of other cores that all come together in one. The everything abounded everything, loving magnetism unites them. At the departure of the spirit of the earth, they tend to separate because their obligations to the physical body have ceased. They are as free as the spirit itself. Moreover, since they have a free will and morals, many out of the love of obligations or custom remain with the spirit. This core was represented by the damn paranoids, by a braid, and it was at the same time a symbol of living telepathy. Seeing they were little, the children of the paranoids were characterized by his custom. The people of Israel used to call him the Mechonero. These customs, like the Creator, were cut off in the kingdom of heaven because the devils of the ancient world were cursed by the Father Jehovah. A story that will captivate to the world. Events unknown to the human knowledge. Fact that will be known very soon. Only the living telepathy of the Son takes away your past. No human in sciences can explain his own origin because he has in a living science to forget the past. The revelation will cause immense controversy between materialists and spirituality, between those who are locked up in a single present and those who think in infinity presence, an intellectual controversy between East and West, between those who serve virtues and those who serve gold, between those who prefer in their trials of life to serve eternity and those who prefer to serve the world. goal and word, virtue and eternity. Here is the Alpha and Omega of all the human psychologies in which everyone asks to for a final judgment. And the final light of how things were done, two orders that are beginning to be fulfilled. At the same moment you asked for it, many children were tested who asked to receive a revelation in their lives. With them the wish was fulfilled. More, all without dissection, despite the request, and they despised the entrance into the kingdom of heaven, because that prize was reserved to them. The Divine Father preached to no one. More, give opportunity to the world, will know in all languages the name of those who despise him, because they himself asked for in the kingdom in case they break in your promise. Whoever despises in a humble person who speaks in the name of the Father and who has proof, despise the Creator who sent him. And however despises the Father, despises his destiny in the words of the light. They only have to cry and garnish on their teeth. Right? Alpha and Omega. For more of this content, please feel free to visit our website, telepathicreading.com, where you can find many more scrolls of the Lamb. Thank you for your attention for this audio.